An American Tail was a 1986 American musical drama film that was about a certain mouse and his family who emigrated from the Russian Empire to the United States in search for freedom. But the main mouse got lost, and the film revolved around him trying to find a way to reunite with his family. This animated movie was a don-bluth production that is still iconic to this day, and that's why I want us to remember the characters who featured in the film, from all the rodents to other animals like cats and birds. Then briefly discuss the people who voiced the characters, most of whom are no longer here with us in 2025. We shall start with the main mouse called Fievel Mousekewitz, who was the son of Mama and Papa Mousekewitz and the brother to Tanya Mousekewitz. He was a young mouse who was so adventurous and playful. His innocence mostly brought him into trouble, and this was the main reason he became separated and lost from the rest of his family. After he got lost, he became lonely and cried because he missed his family, and he knew that he had no other choice but to get up and start looking for them. He made a few friends along the way who advised him, and some even welcomed him to their lives. He also met villains along the way who took advantage of him, but he never lost hope of one day reuniting with his family, and this happened at the end of the film when all hope was almost running out. He was a sweet mouse voiced by Philip Glasser, who was an American producer and a former voice actor. He continued voicing Fievel in the 1992 spin-off series, and we also discussed him in a Troll in Central Park of 1994 where he voiced Gus. Tiger was Fievel's best friend and one of the few friendly cats in the film. He was initially a member of the Mott Street Maulers until he felt sorry for Fievel and decided to free him and quit the group. He was a goofy cat who was also very kind-hearted, unlike the other cats, and his love for mice made him turn into a vegetarian in order to stop craving for meat. He was very afraid of dogs, and this made him to avoid any street that was infested with the canines. I believe that he was the most respectful and generous character than everyone else in this film. Voiced by the late Dom DeLucy, who was an American actor and comedian, and sometimes even a musician and a chef. He also provided the voice of Fagin in Oliver and Company of 1988 and Stanley in A Troll in Central Park of 1994. He passed away on May 4, 2009 at the age of 75 years from complications with kidney failure. Fievel's parents were Papa and Mama Mousekewitz. They were so loving to each other and to their kids as well, and the main reason they left Russia was to find a better life for their kids. Papa's real name was Bernard Mousekewitz, and he was a kind but poor tailor and a former violin maker. Mama Mousekewitz, on the other hand, was a devoted housewife and mother who kept the family together through thick and thin. After Fievel got separated from them during a storm, they spent the rest of their time in the film looking for him, and they finally found him at the end of the film and they matched to America together. Papa was voiced by Nehemiah Persoff, who was an American actor and professional painter. He did voice acting for 55 years, and was also a military soldier in World War II from 1942 to 1945. He lived a great life before passing away on the 5th of April, 2022 at the age of 102 years. His cause of demise was from a heart failure. Mama Mousekewitz, on the other hand, was voiced by Erica Yohn, who was an American stage and television actress. She mostly rolled in movies that are not popular in this generation, but she nevertheless appeared in more than 100 TV shows and movies of the 40s and 50s. Her time on Earth came to an end on the 27th of January 2019 at the age of 90 years old. She passed from natural causes. Tanya Mousekewitz was the eldest child of Mama and Papa Mousekewitz and the older sister of Fievel. She was a cheerful and optimistic young female mouse who was known for having faith that Fievel was alive when her parents refused to believe it. She really wanted to be a singer, but her shy personality always got in her way. She was roughly 16 years old in the film, which made her 9 years older than Fievel. The reason the family kept looking for Fievel after he got lost was because of Tanya's positivity and the lack of giving up. This made her a very special character to the film and seriously underrated. She was voiced by Amy Green, who is a former child actress of the 1980s and 90s. She does not do roles nowadays and is now living a private life away from the media. Now, Bridget was the Irish girlfriend of a mouse called Toponi. She was not among the major characters, But we learnt that she was a mouse activist who befriended Fievel and started helping him to reunite with his family. She was a passionate speaker for mouse rights and was always seen giving speeches to her fellow mice in uniting against the cats that dominated the streets. Her soft voice came from Cathy Bloor, who was a voice actress for the Don-Bluth production studios. She unfortunately passed away on February 23, 2002 from struggles with cancer. She was just 50 years old. Honest John was a crooked politician and was often living a rich and selfish life. He was just a supporting character and a member of Tammany Hall, which was a powerful political organization in New York. We saw him when Fievel and Bridget went to Tammany Hall to ask for help in finding his lost family. He was an overweight mouse voiced by Neil Ross, who is a British-born actor known for his transatlantic accent. He has used his accent in voicing other roles in shows like Spider-Man the Animated Series and Transformers. Henri was an optimistic French pigeon who briefly appeared in the film. He was seen taking care of Fievel after he got lost from his family. He fed him and bathed him, and even gave him hope that sooner or later he was going to reunite with his family. He was a nice, gentle pigeon voiced by Christopher Plummer, who was a Canadian actor and an Emmy Award winner. His best movie, according to me, was Knives Out that aired in 2019. He passed away on February 5, 2021 at the age of 91 years. He sadly fell in his house and was found unresponsive by his family. Warren the rat was the main antagonist of the film. He was a cat in rat's clothing and the arch-nemesis of Fievel Mousekewitz. He was the leader of the Mott Street Maulers, which was a gang of dangerous cats that terrorized the mice of New York City. His sidekick was a cockroach called Digit, who was mostly an incompetent little thing. He was a very greedy and deceitful individual who loved considering himself as a sophisticated person, and he treated his friends more like employees than his actual friends. He was voiced by John Finnegan, who was an American film and television actor. He passed away on 29th of July, 2012 at the age of 85 years from pneumonia. Tony Toponi was a mouse that befriended Fievel after meeting him in Moe's sweatshop. He promised Fievel that he would help him to find his parents, and they both began the journey to find the missing family. He had a crush on Bridget, and was always seen trying too hard to please her. He was a good friend to Fievel even when no one else was. He was voiced by a woman called Pat Music, who is an American voice actress that voices both animated shows and video games. She was the one who also voiced Snappy Smurf in the Smurfs from 1984 to 1989. Moe was just a minor antagonist who ran the sweatshop that was affiliated with the Mott Street Maulers. He was known to make his workers into his personal slaves, and was generally just a villain in the film. He was friends with Warren the rat, and both of them were a headache to the whole community of mice. He was voiced by Hal Smith, who was once an American actor of the 40s and 50s. And finally, we saw a cockroach by the name Digit, who was the secondary antagonist in the film and Warren's accountant. He was the one responsible in calculating Warren's daily profits from the illegal businesses he ran. He, however, did not like his working conditions, and was also very unhappy with how much smoking Warren did in his presence. The only reason he worked for him was because he was afraid of what he might do to him when he tried to escape. Voiced by Will Ryan, a former American voice actor and singer who also voiced Petrie in The Land Before Time of 1988.